Two more. Two more shootings. This country. There's something. This isn't normal. I mean, something isn't right. I mean, there's something in the water that's just not right. I mean, two mass shootings. One in El Paso, Texas, and the other in Dayton, Ohio. I mean, my God, I mean, the toxic society here in America is just working overdrive, just pumping out these mass shooters. I found both of these shootings online, so I think I'm gonna read the first one for El Paso, Texas, and the other for Dayton, Ohio. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Here's the mass shooting in El Paso, Texas. Okay. This shooting happened in the same state that I'm living in right now. I mean, well, I'm here in East Texas. I mean, the eastern part of Texas, and this shooting happened in El Paso, Texas, which is in West Texas. Okay, here it is. Horror in El Paso. Another in a long list of mass killings plaguing the nation. It is, these mass shootings are plaguing the nation. The massacre in El Paso is the deadliest shooting in the U.S. in 2019. The number of people killed makes it one of the 10 worst in recent American history. The mass shooting in El Paso, Texas on Saturday that left at least 20 people dead and 26 injured appears to be the deadliest shooting in the United States this year. It also falls into the top 10 deadliest mass shootings in modern American history. The grim tally comes less than a week after another gunman, a 19-year-old, opened fire at a Gilroy garlic festival in California, killing 2 children and a man before being shot by police and ultimately killing himself. These are the deadliest mass shootings on U.S. soil and other mass shootings. 58 killed around 10 p.m. on October the 1st, 2017. A gunman, 64, opened fire from the 32nd floor on the Mandalay Bay Resort on a crowd watching country singer Jason Aldean. Several weapons were found in the shooter's hotel room. Police say 58 people were killed and more than 500 were injured. The gunman killed himself before officers reached his hotel room. 49 killed. On June the 12th, 2016, 49 people were killed and dozens more were wounded after a gunman opened fire and took hostages at Pulse, a LGBT-friendly nightclub in Orlando, Florida. He was killed following a standoff with police. The shooter used weapons he'd purchased, allegedly, according to authorities. 32 killed. On April the 16th, 2007, a Virginia Tech student shot 32 people to death on the Blacksburg, Virginia campus before killing himself. Another 17 people were injured days after the worst school shooting in the nation's history. NBC News received a package from the student that contained a video of him ranting and complaining about being bullied. 27 killed. On December the 14th, 2012, a gunman killed 27 people, including his mother, 20 elementary school kids, and 6 school staff and facilities at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. He also took his own life. The shooter suffered from extreme mental health issues that weren't treated and was preoccupied with violence, a report from the state official found. He also had easy access to weapons, the reporter said. 26 killed. On November the 5th, 2017, a gunman entered a rural Texas church and opened fire, killing 26 people. At least 19 people were hospitalized with injuries. His victims' ages range 5 years old to 72 years old, authorities said. The gunman was later found dead inside his vehicle. 23 killed. On October the 16th, 1991, a 35-year-old man crashed his pickup through Luby's Cafeteria, a packed restaurant in Kingling, Texas. He shot and killed 23 people before turning the gun on himself. 27 others were wounded. 21 killed.
Texas grieves for the people
On
of El Paso today.
21 killed on July the 18th, 1984, a 41-year-old former security guard who had lost his job opened fire at a McDonald's in San Ysidro, California. He killed 21 employees and customers, including children. A police sniper killed him an hour after he started shooting.
From El Paso have lost their lives.
20 killed.
And more than 24
On August the 3rd, 2019, a 21-year-old suspect opened fire in a shopping area in El Paso, Texas.
in support
At least 20 people died as a result of the shooting,
family members.
and 26 were injured,
We want to do
law enforcement officials said.
assist them.
17 killed.
God
The list goes on and on about history of mass shootings in America.
bind up their wounds.
Sorry I didn't read everything about the mass shooting that happened in El Paso, Texas.
For all the law enforcement
Um,
and a swift response
yeah.
that they took to minimize the
I can't read anymore. I mean, this is just disgusting. I mean, I can tell you why all these mass shootings are happening. I mean, I did this other video about the shooting in at the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Northern California near San Francisco. These shootings are happening because, well, you know, so many shootings are happening because because people, certain people hate other people because of their race. I mean, yeah, guys breaking up with their girlfriends and they can't find another woman. A guy who can't get a girlfriend because the women are stuck up, picky, and they just look at him as disdain, like they just don't like him because of how he looks and how he is, and if he's shy, he's shy around women, and they look at him as weird and creepy. This is ridiculous. I mean, and it is like, I mean, I think the best way to stop all these mass shootings if people stop being toxic and stop talking down to people, yelling at people, treating people like dirt, acting like douchebags and pricks and assholes around them and giving them a hard time, and telling them, oh, I don't want to hear it, just drop it, I don't want to hear it, you can't go here, but I don't want to, no, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it, I want to hear it. And all of this, like, it just transforms a normal functioning person into a monster that will grab a gun and just go on mass shootings and shoot up places and just shoot and kill people and turn the gun on himself and just kill himself or get shot and killed by police. I mean, people in American society don't have a clue why all these mass shooters are doing what they're doing and why all these mass shootings are happening. The police don't have a clue. The president, who's in the White House, who's a total idiot, he doesn't have a clue. And you know, I think famous people, celebrities, movie actors, recording artists who make albums, they don't have a clue. Nobody in this country doesn't have a clue. And people from other countries, you know, they just look at all these shootings that happen here in America, and they're saying to themselves, like, America is a crazy country. Like, they have all these mass shootings all the time. Like, they shoot, and it's terrible. Like, I mean, this country is dangerous. I mean, I'm afraid to go to this country, go to America. And you know, and foreigners who think America is so great, and they ignore the fact that all these mass shootings are happening. They just come here to make money, get rich, I guess. And you know, they come here to get rich and live here, and some just come here to go to school and make money and go back to their home countries. You know, because you know, America is just a country that's just built on making money, doing business. I mean, everybody's antisocial, cliquish, standoffish. Nobody wants to talk to one another. The only way you're going to talk to people in America is this business related purposes, you know. And I went to a Taco Bell in Kilgore, Texas. I mean, I went through the drive-through, and you know, I told someone through the speaker, at the at the menu with the speaker, told them what I wanted, you know, said they couldn't hear me, so I spoke a little louder. Then when I drove to pick up my food and pay for it through the drive-through window, this girl, you know, it was a fat girl. She started to pick on me, and this is what she did. Like, she stood away from the drive-through window and asked me, do I want any hot sauce with my food? I said, I just want mild sauce. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. So I spoke to her again. And she was doing this because I wouldn't say I'm doing fine when she asked me, how are you doing? You know, and Winston Wu talked about this. You know, he said it's like he said that people say how are you, and you're programmed to respond, oh, I'm doing fine. And it's this thing that you gotta tell people you're doing fine 24/7, and you're not doing okay, because, you know, like Winston Wu says, like, you know, life has its ups and downs. I mean, you'll be doing okay, and sometimes you won't be doing all right. And, you know, I just didn't want to go through that at the drive-through window. And this fat girl with a serious look on her face, you know, just picked on me over this. You know, I was picked on at a bank that I used to go to because I have a learning disability, you know, and these people at this bank were picking on me when I went to close down my bank account and move this to another bank. And these people, they were picking on me, you know, and stuff like that will just create mass shootings. Like, American society, you know, takes people, you know, who are picked on, bullied, harassed, made fun of, have food and stuff thrown at them, ice cubes thrown at them, junk and trash and crap thrown at them, and asked a lot of stupid questions over and over and over again. I mean, that will make a person transform into a mass shooter, and they get angry, grab a gun, and go and just kill these people who are doing all this garbage to them. And it's just this, in American society just don't see this. It's like everybody just totally blind, just turn a blind eye to this. I mean, yeah, and I got a comment. Let's see, I got a comment on one of my videos. I can find it. I'm gonna go into my channel. Go into my channel. Hold on a minute, folks. Okay. Okay, I got a comment from Brian Deeb, and he posted this 16 hours ago, and this is what he said in his this is what he said in his comment. More shootings, El Paso, Dayton. You were right. There's something wrong in this country. Yeah, there is something wrong in this country. Something wrong. Very, very wrong. Uh, yeah, there is something wrong. I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, people in American society tear people down by yelling at them, picking on them, treating them like dirt. Um, if they want to get a girlfriend, I mean, women in America will turn them down because I guess they're not. I guess I guess they're not. I guess they're not buff and alpha male like. I guess, I mean, and they just morph into, they just turn it. I mean, they just turn into mass shooters and just shoot and kill people. I mean, American society is so stupid. I mean, it's like I mean, it's like it's like American society is a zookeeper waving meat at a hungry lion, and that hungry lion is a person that will morph into a mass shooter. I mean, just wave a flag, wave meat at a hungry lion, or wave a red flag at a bull. I mean, it's like this. They'll just tease and pick, on that person until they just blow up in anger and attack them. You know, people in American society are creating these mass shooters. They are. People like my father, people like my sister, people who are ignorant, people who are just total assholes, pricks, who just like to rip and tear people down, they are pumping out these mass shooters. And this mass shooting that happened in El Paso, which is in Texas, the state that I live in, I mean, these people, I mean, here it's even worse. They'll just pick and just drive someone and to turn into a mass shooter, and they got open carry, and they'll pull out a gun and just shoot and kill somebody and shoot and kill them. Yeah. They'll just pull on the cowboy hat, become John Wayne, pull out the gun, and just shoot him, kill him. Yeah. There's something wrong in this country. I mean, this doesn't happen in Australia. This doesn't happen in New Zealand. I mean, this doesn't happen in any other country because, they got strict gun laws. Yeah, stuff like that happens in their country, but, it doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. Sorry about reading about what happened in El Paso, Texas, and what happened in Dayton, Ohio. But wait, I think I can read this. Read what happened in both of these cities. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hope I'm not reading the same thing over and over again. Okay, prosecutors in El Paso, Texas. This is the shooting in El Paso, Texas. Hope it's not a history of everything that happened, of mass shootings that happened in this country. Okay, prosecutors in El Paso, Texas will seek the death penalty for the man suspected of killing 20 people and injuring more than 24 others. U.S. Attorney John Bash said they will pursue a criminal investigation, a civil rights hate crime investigation of domestic terrorism charges against the suspect, who was identified as 21-year-old Patrick Crossett. El Paso Police Chief Greg Allen said Crossett purchased his weapon illegally and said police were beginning to remove bodies from the scene Sunday. According to the Associated Press, Crossett is from Allen, Texas, which is a nearby 10-hour drive from El Paso. In the hours following the attack, there was another mass shooting across the country in Dayton, Ohio. Police said 9 people were killed by a gunman who was shot to death by responding officers. Officials have referenced a document allegedly left behind by Crossett and said the shooting may have a nexus to a hate crime. The writer of the document documents the increasing Hispanic population in Texas and gives that as a reason for his actions. Many of the victims in El Paso were shot at a Walmart. The shopping area is about 5 miles from the main border checkpoint with Contra Juarez, Mexico. The scene was a horrific one, said Allen, adding that many of the 26 people who were hurt had life-threatening injuries. Ryan Maclot, a spokesman for University Medical Center of El Paso, said 15 of the injured were brought to the hospital with injuries, including one who died. 2 of the injured were children who were transferred to El Paso Children's Hospital, he said. The children sustained non-life-threatening injuries and were discharged Sunday. 10 patients remain at UMC. 11 other victims ages 35 to 82 were being treated at Del Sol Medical Center. Hospital spokesman Victor Guerrero said. A U.S. soldier stationed at nearby Fort Bliss was at the mall when the shooting unfolded. Glendon Oakland said that as soon as heard 2 gunshots, he took the threat seriously. We run towards Dillard's, and it's like a playpen over there. I see a whole bunch of kids without their parents running around screaming and crying. So I grabbed as many as possible, Oakley told CBS affiliate WMAZ-TV. I tried to get a couple of other people too, grab other kids, but parents are so worried about themselves. They're gone, Oakley said. I'm thinking if I had a child, what would I want somebody else to do? Walmart released a statement saying it was working with law enforcement and paying for the victims, the community, and other associates, as well as the first responders. U.S. Representative Veronica Escobar, who represents El Paso, said on Twitter she was heartbroken by the incident and was monitoring the situation. Her prosecutor, presidential candidate, and former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke appeared shaken as he spoke at a candidate forum in Las Vegas on Saturday, shortly after the news of the shooting in his hometown was reported. O'Rourke said he had called his wife before taking the stage and said the shooting shatters any illusion that we have that progress in the indictment on tackling gun violence. The Democrat said he'd heard early reports that the shooter might have had a military-style weapon, saying we need to keep that exponent on the battlefield and do not bring it into our communities. I'll say it uncensored. Saying we need to keep that shit on the battlefield and do not bring it into our communities. We have to find some reason for optimism and hope, or else we consign ourselves to a future where nearly 40,000 people a year will lose their lives to gun violence, and I cannot accept that, O'Rourke said. Yeah, the future is going to get worse and worse and worse because politicians from both parties are not going to do anything about this. I mean, this is what America needs. Universal background checks. Yeah, and stricter gun laws. And people in society need to revert back to sane people and stop acting like psychotic maniacs and tearing people down and creating mass shooters from that. That will help, but that's not going to happen because American society is filled to the brim with brain dead zombies. And Beto O'Rourke, a politician, is a brain dead zombie. Donald Trump is a brain dead zombie. American YouTubers on YouTube are brain dead zombies. Not all of them. Yeah. As long as we have Seattle, Washington, that has the Seattle freeze, Los Angeles, California, that has people who are antisocial, cliquish, and full of themselves because they think that they're Hollywood celebrities. Cities in Texas that are filled with assholes. Not all of them. And every other city, including New York City, where people just walk by and just let someone just fall to the ground. You just let them fall to the ground, just have a heart attack and die, and not going to help them and rush them to a hospital and just walk by like they don't exist. If this shit in America continues, we're going to continue to have mass shooters. Alright? Mass shootings will continue. They will continue because everybody in American society are brain dead zombies. Okay. Who's gonna be the next mass shooter? I mean, we had three. I think we had one last month and two this month. Here in August, and the other one happened in July. Okay, who's gonna be the next mass shooter? Someone with Down syndrome, who's mentally retarded, who has mild mental retardation, who's gonna grab a gun and start shooting and killing people because he was picked on. Let's go be the next mass shooter. I mean, the United States of America, this country is a joke. This country is a joke.